Welcome to another tutorial on the user platform feature of the partner application. In this part, we will cover the homepage editions option of this feature, which is a great and handy tool to edit the homepage of the client-side website for the web and the phone app. To access this section, click on the homepage edition option of the user platform feature. On this page, you have two tabs, My Editions and All Editions. My Edition tab is selected by default, which shows a list of the homepage editions that were created by you. The All Edition tab shows a list of all the homepage editions in the system. You are only able to edit the editions made by you. And as you see, the edit button is only visible beside the editions that were created by you. There is a search section at the top of the page that allows you to search through the editions. You can enter a keyword and press the search button to perform a search. On the table, you can see the name of the edition, the platform it was designed for, the submit date and time, the modified date and time, the name of the person who submitted the edition, and whether the edition is live right now or not. You can remove the editions that are not live by using the remove button next to their name. There are two buttons beside each edition's name. The first one takes you to a preview page of the edition, and the second one takes you to the page that lets you edit the home page. As you see on this page, you can preview the edition. You can also choose to edit the home page and to set the edition as a live edition. For example, this one is live already, but if it wasn't, you would have a button here that would let you to set the edition as a live edition. To create an edition, click on the Add a New Edition button on the top of the page. On the Open dialog, write a name for the edition and choose the platform you would like to create the edition for. For example, we can go with New Edition, and it can be for phone. Press the Add button, and it will be added to the list of the editions. Now let's edit the new edition that we just created by clicking on the edit button. As you see, it doesn't have any tabs or components yet. On this page, you can add tabs to the edition, add components to the tab, and edit the name of the edition and components. To add new tabs to the edition, click on the Add a New Tab button. Write down the name and press the Create button. You can edit the name of the tab by using the edit button or remove it using the remove button. There is also a number beside each tab that shows the number of the components in the tab. Currently it's 0 because we don't have any components in it. You can change the order of the tabs by dragging them using the button next to their name. Since there is only one tab for now, there is nothing to preview. Let's add a second tab with the same process. As you see, now we have both of them visible on the preview screen. If you choose a tab here, it will be also chosen here, and vice versa. If you choose it here, it will be chosen here as well. And as I mentioned, you are able to change the order as well. You can add as many components as you would like to your tabs. You have 7 kinds of components to choose from: a slideshow, category, a large, medium, and a small product, time-based, and banner component. Now we are going to add one from each kind of components and see how they work. Let's start with the banner component. To add it to the tab, click on it, and in the Open dialog, write the name of the component and press the Create button. Just like tabs, you can edit the component's name, delete it, see the number of items in it, and change the order of it. You can also choose to have a component for a limited time by clicking on the calendar button and setting a date. One very important point to remember is that after every change that we make in a component, we need to press the Save button to save the changes. Otherwise, the changes won't apply to the component. Now let's pick a date. For example, from today for the next 2 days. If you would like to remove any of these dates, you can click on the Remove the Start Date or Remove the Expiry Date button. Now let's press the change, and the changes are saved now. Now to add a banner to our banner component, we need to click on the Add Banner button. In the opened window, we need to choose a banner from the available banners in the system. Let's go with this one. Then we need to press the Select One banner, and as I mentioned before, we need to press the Save button to save the changes of our component. As you see, the banner is added to the component. A slideshow component contains multiple banners that you can go through. Let's add one to our tab. Same as the previous one, we need to pick a name for it and press the create button. We need to add banners to our component, so let's press the add banners button and choose some banners. After choosing the banners and saving the changes, we see that the slideshow is added to the tab, and we can see the different banners in the slideshow. Now let's add a category component to the tab. Now we need to choose categories from the drop down menu and save the changes. For example, we can do digital radiator. The more button on the preview screen next to the component will take the user to the category list of the website. For adding any of the large, medium or small product components, we need to follow the same process, so we will add only the medium product component for this tutorial. To add this component, we will click on it, pick a name and hit the create button. After it's added to the tab, we need to search for the products we'd like to add to it. Let's search and add iPhone phones that we have in the system. As you see on the preview screen, there is a more button right next to the component. If we hover over it, it will specify the reason that the button is pale. It says no search query or search type specified. When the user presses this button, the website performs a search using the basic, application or technical search. We can manage the search results using these buttons here. Let's go with the basic search. On this page, we can modify the results of the search that happens when the user presses the more button. Let's select the digital category and phone subcategory, as all the items we added are from this category. And we press the search button. As you see, when the result of the search comes back, a button appears on top of the page that lets us bind the results with the more button. After pressing it, the tab closes and the search query connects to the button. If you would like to have another search query instead, you can remove it using this remove button. Let's save the changes. The last component that we are going to cover in this tutorial is the time-based component. Let's add it to the tab. This component is by default the time-limited component. It's most useful when the company has some sort of offer with an expiry date. Let's add the time limit and TV001 as the item of the component. Just like the previous one, we can set a search query to happen when the user presses the more button next to the component. As you see, this component is pale as well. We can see the reason by hovering over it. It says this component is not visible to the users due to the specified date range. It's because it will start tomorrow. Let's save the changes. And now that we are done with creating the edition, we can press the arrow beside the tabs header and have the preview centered on the page. If everything looks good, we can set this edition to be the live homepage by pressing the set edition as live at the top right corner of the page. Now let's take a look at the web version of the user platform to see what are the differences. As you see, the only difference is that there is only one tab on the web version, and also the size of the components are different. Sometimes you as the operator might want to see the actual prices that the customer is seeing on the live edition. The easiest way to do that is by clicking on the live homepages button at the top of the page. On this page, you need to select the customer by searching their name in the text field. After choosing it, you'll have both of the web and phone homepage versions available, and you can see the actual screen that they are seeing. And that includes everything for the Homepages Edition section of the user platform feature of the application.